Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. I am M.Reza Pahlepi and I'm from class 5E and I'm from University of Islamic Fatmawati Soekarno Bengkulu. Today I'm gonna talk about evaluation. What is evaluation? Evaluation is a process to obtain the data and information needed to determine the extent and how the learning that has progressed in order to make the judgments and improvements that to maximize the results. According to Rahman and Mahrens, evaluation is a process of planning, obtaining, and providing information that is needed to make decision alternatives. What is the purpose of evaluation? The purpose of evaluation is learning outcomes according to Arifins. Is knowing the level of mastery of a student and the material that has been given, and knowing the skill, motivation, talents, interests, and attitudes of students towards the learning programs, and knowing the level of progress and conformity of student learning outcomes with the competency standards and basic competencies that have been set. What is a principle of evaluation? Is objective mean that assessment is based on clear procedure and criteria, not influenced by the subjectivity of the writer. And the second is a fair, means that the assessment is not beneficial of detrimental to student because of special needs and difference in religious, ethnic, cultural, customs, socioeconomic status, and gender backgrounds. And the third is integrate, meaning that assessment is an inseparable component of learning activities. And the fourth is open, meaning that the assessment procedure, assessment criteria, and basis for decision making can be known by interested parties. And the fifth is comprehensive and continuous, means that the assessment covers all aspects of competence by using various appropriate assessment techniques to monitor and assess the development of student abilities. And the next is a systematic, means that the assessment is carried out in a planned and gradual manner by following standard steps. And next is referring to criteria, means that the assessment is based on the size of the assessment of the specific competence. And the last is accountable, means that the assessment can be accounted for both in terms of mechanism, procedures, techniques, and result. That is a principle of evaluation. There has a four function in evaluation is formative functions. The first is formative functions, namely to provide feedback to teacher as a basis for improving the learning process and conducting remedial programs if needed for students. And secondly is the summative functions, namely determining the progress, value, or learning outcomes of students in certain subjects as material for providing reports to various parties, determining whether student pass or not. And third is diagnostic functions, to understand the backgrounds, including the physical and environmental backgrounds of students who have learning difficulties, the result of which can be used as a basis in solving these difficulties. And the last is placement functions. Placing student is an appropriate learning situation, determine specialization programs according to the level of student ability. How do the evaluations? For example, explanation from test or essay. It is called the description form because it requires students to describe, organize, and state answers in their own words in different forms, techniques, and styles. Judging from the breadth for narrowness of the material state, the form of the description test can be divided in two types. The first is the limited descriptions. In answering this limited form of description, student must state certain things as boundaries. Although the student answers sentence, there must still be important points contained in the systematic of the answer in accordance with the limits that have been determined and desired in the question. And the second is the free descriptions. Students are free to answer the question in their own way and systematically. Students are free to express opinions according to their abilities. Therefore, each student has a different way and systematic, and however, teachers still have to have a reference and benchmarks in correcting students' answerlet. Okay, I think enough from my video. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.